families in Israel. Adrian, you're talking about forefathers. Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom.
It's good to see a few of us that's here, like the brother said. May God keep the ones that are not. Some of my family's not here because they crowded up on me down at the house and I had no way to bring them down. You know, it's good to see Brother Hezekiah back with his family, safe and sound. And yesterday, there was a little bad news from Red. You know, it's always bad news to hear of the death of one's family, you know. He lost his mother yesterday or day before yesterday. Something like that. The loss of a mother, it goes real deep. You know, it's a relationship that's coming from over the years that's broken. You know? Yes. That's why you should always treat your mother right and give her everything that you can. Give her all with all your strength, with rejoicing, because, like I said, it's an old relationship. And now comparing that relationship between a son and his mother, imagine the relationship between us and God. Yeah. You know, we're living an agreement that God made with us, not even with us, but with our parents way back. You know, he told Abraham, you know, he said, your seed gonna be like stars of heaven. They're gonna be my people. You know, he said, but know that after you done dead and gone, you know, they're gonna go into captivity for 400 years. You know, he said, and after that, I'm gonna go out and reach out for them and get them out. You know, he said, I'm gonna give them a land that they're gonna inherit. You know, he made an agreement. Yeah. So that same day, Abraham fell in a deep sleep, and he had made some sacrifice, cut him in half. According to one book, it said that's an old custom of when two people made an agreement. They did a token thing, right? Mm-hmm. So Abraham cut a calf and young pigeons, a few things that you sacrifice with. And then that same night, a deep sleep fell on him, and it says that behold, a furnace and a lamp that parted to pieces, right? Went between the pieces. This lamp wasn't nobody hold, and he commands it. You know what I'm saying? He could have wood float, a lamp, which you feel that the lamp is dead. It has no movement, no life. But it comes from something that God commands. Am I right or wrong? Right. Because the lamp or the iron that made the lamp comes from the mountains, right or wrong? Right. Now, what does it say about the mountain when God comes down? It said they quake. They quake. They jump. Yeah, that's right, they skip. You know what I'm saying? Just like the Mexican beans that you see, said, yeah, a bean, and it's jumping. But this particular bean got a worm inside of it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's why Mexican beans jump. They got worms in them. You know what I'm saying? You see the bean move, you say, wow, the bean moved. What's going on? You know what I'm saying? Well, he's born with a worm. But these mountains that we talking about, ain't no worm in them. Right. It's wood, rock, iron, and they skip when God comes down. So he said the lamp went through the pieces, and it was that right then when God made agreement and told Abraham and said, your seed gonna be like the stars of heaven. And he didn't even tell him count it, but Abraham was so young and not simple but loving, and I was glad that he met God, that he counted the stars. He said he counted it to him for righteousness. Wow, my seed gonna be like the star. He sat down and actually counted them. You know what I'm saying? So we're coming from a special people, from a man that feared God without even knowing about him. We know about God, and it's so hard for us to fear. We read a book, we read another book that proves that this book is right. You know what I'm saying? We read about when God said, yeah, you're going to go into captivity. We read the prophets came and told our parents, and they wouldn't believe him. You know what I'm saying? They won't believe none of the prophets. And here we is 1993. We could read where the prophet told our parents, and then we could actually read when it happened. You know what I'm saying? That means you don't need, You can't get it more clear than that.
Yeah.
You know this God that we're talking about is alive and well.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You see the things that he said he don't like, he still attacked.
That's right.
He attacked Christmas.
Yes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Look, from the Thursday before the 25th, it was so cold out there that, look, let me tell you something. If you had on the baddest goose down and you was ready for the weather, you didn't want to be outside.
That's right.
Now you talk to me. You know what I'm saying? He still attacked the same things. He don't like it. Christmas trees still burning down families. What else is new? You know what I'm saying? What is new to us? We know it all. We've seen it all.
Teach.
You know what I'm saying? And we're going to be tested over and over.
Yep.
So every year we got to show it what? A little more strength.
Right.
Don't miss if you didn't get to go shopping. That's not the thing. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because after you learn, there's still certain little tests that come up in your mind. I throw a test in your mind and say, man, I might want to go buy a sweater. It's Hanukkah anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
Hanukkah anyway.
Anyway.
You know what I'm saying? But what does you and the Christian got to do in the same store buying clothes? He buying clothes for his Christmas. You buying for Hanukkah. There's no relationship. You see what I'm saying? Because this lady told me Merry Christmas or something. And I said, like, I didn't even know that the other guy over was listening. So I said something like, you know, they said, agree with them, fool, and leave them swiftly. But I really didn't say that. I just said, The lady said, come. Yeah, I know you do, what they call it? Kwanzaa. She swear I'm saying something now in Hebrew or African.
Yeah.
You know, so she said, yeah, you do Kwanzaa. You know what I'm saying? And I went down the street laughing. I look, it tickled me, you know what I'm saying? Because I was just trying to, you know, just wave off and keep moving. And this other one picked it up over here and thought I was saying something. And she said, oh, you do Kwanzaa. You know? So that's the foolishness that's out there. You know? And it's the same thing going on. God attacking them, you know, and making a fool out of them.
Yes,
Make even the guy in Manhattan, what's his name? The Archbishop or whatever his name is.
O'Connor.
Yeah, O'Connor. He said, yeah, one time there was a people that feared God. The Israelites. Oh, man. I mean, our name is popping up everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Farrakhan mentioning it. O'Connor mentioning it. You see what I'm saying? But see, God works in silence. He don't send us no message like, yo, I'm doing this week. You know what I'm saying? All he told us to do is wait for him.
Right.
That's all he said. You wait for me. You know what I'm saying? While it says stay there, hold still while the eyes renew their strength. You know what I'm saying? While they start thinking right and coming back. You know? And it's a blessing that we're not a part of none of that.
Right.
It's a blessing when we come to the part where we don't miss it anymore. Or we don't miss the enjoyment and the entertainment.
That's right.
And we don't feel bad if we ain't go nowhere. You see, as you go, and as the years go by, you get better in your heart. You know what I'm saying? Your test is not going to come now like if you don't celebrate it. Not if you don't celebrate, how do you feel during the celebration?
Yeah.
Do you miss it? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See, God is intelligent. Now, you're dealing with an intelligent being.
Yeah.
He's not going to test you for not taking part no more. You know what I'm saying? Just like the lady that looked back. She missed Sodom and Gomorrah. Said, don't look back.
Yes,
Whether you didn't want him to see, her to see his works, what he did, or that to look back, we're like, yeah, you know, when you miss your father, you leaving your father, you look back because you missed him, right or wrong. You like, give a little last wave, you know what I'm saying? I said, don't look back. And she looked back, right?
Right.
And she became a monument of an unbelieving soul. Now, we don't want, now a monument now is like every time you remember or you don't believe something, remember her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A monument. Remember her. She is a monument to a soul that does not believe.
Teach.
With all that he sees.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? They must have heard the noise and the shouting. It's a fire came down and fire and brimstone. They must have heard it. But she looked back. Now the book don't say why she looked back, but you improvise.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Use your improvisation and figure out how this thing happened. You know? This is some straight up knowledge. This is knowledge from the past that you can look through and strengthen yourself in knowing that you're doing the right thing. Never mind if you're doing it and you're in a poor state. The thing is that you're doing the right thing. Money doesn't count. Right? You see what I'm saying? He said, for money cannot redeem you in a day of vengeance. Yeah. You know, when God comes for you, or He gonna punish you or something. Money ain't it. You know what I'm saying? Money ain't it. And like I said, when we think about the things that we figure like we be afflicted, think about guys like Elijah. You know, he went from Damascus all the way to Mount Horeb with 2 meals, 40 days and 40 nights. You know what I'm saying? One day, you know, he woke up and God said, "What you doing here, man? What is you doing here?" He said, "Look, I'm weary for myself." He said, "Kill me. I want to die." You see what I'm saying? He said, "Kill me, man. I want to die." And that wasn't like blaspheme. I mean, it's a sin to kill yourself, to commit suicide, but not to wish that you were dead, especially if life is being tedious with you and you're doing the right thing. You could say, "God, take me." You know? And that's what he had. He said, "God, take me, man, because things is rough." You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, I'm jealous for your sake of the people that are, you know, they raising up altars and all things around. And what is my life? You know, he said, "I ain't no better than my fathers." Killed me too. You know what I'm saying? He cried out. And right there, God commissioned him again. He said, "Go and anoint this king over here and go and anoint Ahab." Here's job. Here's a guy, don't have food to suffice him, right? Ain't got no job, ain't got no family, just runs. Just runs and do God's work. You know what I'm saying? Just run and do God's work. After a while, but right after that, God put Elisha in his place, say, "Elisha gonna be in your stead," and God took him. But God didn't take him like killed him, gave him great honor. He sent for him. You know what I'm saying? That's right. Props. You know, these are the things that we should learn and strengthen ourselves by, and know that this God that we talk about is alive. He exists. I mean, put away everything for him. Don't let a dress or certain type food or partying or nothing put you out of grace with him. Yeah, that's right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, face it. After all, it's only material, right? If it's a party, tomorrow when your hangover is gone, it's like the day that wasn't. Right or wrong? Right. How many of us woke up in the 25th and felt good that we about to no idols and had no trees and no lights and all that? Felt good. Yeah. See, that's because your heart is getting better. See, we're stubborn and we still grope at certain things, but our heart is getting better. When you start thinking and say, "Man, thank God, I ain't buying no toys. My children had no toys and they handled it nice. And I felt good about myself when I got up to 26. You know what I'm saying? These are the good things in life. You know what I'm saying? When you don't have to sit down and feel bad about what you did yesterday. You know what I'm saying? That's good. I just wanted to get that out of me. You know what I'm saying? And I know that we feel the same. You know what I'm saying? We all feel the same. You know, we're family. This is a new thing in the earth. It's even new to the God that's been here. When I look and I see families, little faces, I don't never get tired of seeing them. You know what I'm saying? Because you're glad that you saw them again. Yeah. That they still here. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? I mean, you don't get tired of it. You don't get tired of seeing little Shimshon and and my man and all the new ones running around. They can't bother me enough for me to get mad with them. You see what I'm saying? Because this is all the same people that God said, these have I made for what? For my glory. That's right. They making history. What is you doing? You know? Is you a grouch in some corner, miserable and shunning them away? Hey, get out of here, man. Y'all making too much noise. No, they don't make enough noise. They can't make enough noise to annoy you. They could be all over your head. You should just rejoice in that. This is the people that God has made.
Right.
They were written of old. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's right. They kick a hole in the wall, repaired. You know what I'm saying? It comes with the territory. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's all about, man. You know, we should never, you know, that's why the book tells you, said, forsake anger and leave away from wrath. Because you cannot get it like that. You can't even enjoy the run like that. You know what I mean? You cannot. Then one psychologist, he says, be tolerant with your kids, saying that you would want them to deal with you the same way after you get old. You see what I'm saying? First, you the grown up, they the children. Then they the grown up, you damn near the children again. You see what I'm saying? Let your strength be theirs now, and let their strength be yours later. It's a one hand wash the other thing. You know what I'm saying? That's right. It's two stages. Some of the great prophets say there's in the world to come. The world to come is not here yet, because the wickedness of the first world was not taken out. And if the 400 years that God told Abraham about is this captivity, then we're approaching 400 years. We're getting close. You know what I'm saying? 1619, they say it started a little before 1619. But 1619, officially we hit the shores. You know? But if it started before 1619, then that means the year 2019 will be past 400 years. 400 years. So many generations. We're born here. Because never mind our parents didn't know this truth. But some of them were alive then. They got a major part of the beat. 1618, I mean, you had families around, and that you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be here if you didn't have family in those days. You had family in those days. You might have had a family that knew this. Because a lot of our parents, it was fresh in their minds, right or wrong.
Right.
How do we know in Virginia when the people said, blessed be the Lord God who has not forgotten us in the land of our captivity? How you know if your aunt wasn't in there, one of them that said that? Or your uncle? Says after we kept going, they kept brainwashing us, and beating it out of us, you know what I'm saying? And then later on now, God steps in. Just like he stepped in the time when we were enslaved in Babylon. He made my man think up of the essay. He made him come up with the essay. He made the essay, he won it. Then he had the king promise him, send the people back. Man. He promised it, right? And that's what he won, right? He said, look, out they go. You see, so now it's coming that time that when we're going to be out of there. We're going to be out of here. The other book in the Jeremiah, Ezekiel, he said, set your hearts towards the highway. You know what I'm saying? Don't save up no heaps of money. You know, seeing that you know that the nation is the one that's you're gonna be with until you get out of here or till you die, then there's the nation that you should push. You should all think about doing things together. Buying together, you know what I'm saying? Shopping together, you know, working together, opening businesses together. He said, gather yourselves together, O nation, not desired. It didn't say separate yourself. It said gather yourselves together. That means we're supposed to group up and do everything. Together. That's right. Prosper together. You know? One store at a time. Next thing you know, you have chains of store. You got to start thinking like that. Because God said to do that. So he got all the things that he mentioned beside the commandments. He showed us what to do. You know, later on, he said, look, it's got to be us because he wasn't talking to Samaria and Judah. They were together already. You know what I'm saying? And we were all together living in our land. Here we separated. And he said, gather yourselves together. So this is not going to go out. An encampment, different schools, Israelite community, it's not going to go out. It says a remnant shall be saved, and by God, you could bet all your money on that. A remnant going to be saved. The word itself, respect it. Remember what it says in Numbers? It says, him that presumptuously, right? Presumptuously sin against his word, it said the same hated the Lord. That means when you don't know, you're in less trouble than when you know. Because when you know now, you're accounted for what you know.
Right.
And what you know and you don't do, God look at it like you despise his words. So you don't want to play with that. You don't want to play with that. You know, you wait till you lose a limb, then you start thinking if you was doing bad, then say, damn, boy, when I had my right hand, I was definitely all right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See, after the loss, you count yourself better off when you was. And when you was with your full limbs and full health, you thought you was down. See, I mean, you got to keep that mind in perspective. That mind slip off and try tricks on you, and that's how the adversary got Eve. He said, "What? Come on, man. It's because you're gonna be like gods, knowing good and evil. That's why you don't want to eat from there." But God had to have that test. You know, Moses told the people, he said, God has come to prove you that your sin may be before your faces, that you sin not. God always checking. How would he know how to pay you in life if he don't check you? He said, the eyes of the Lord are to and fro in the earth to render a man according to the work of his hand. I mean, they're watching us. They're watching us. You know what I'm saying? Remember when the army was all in camp against Ahab? And who was it? The Syrians said, no, you see what happened? Because they probably always see us looking towards the mountains and the hills and praying, right?
Yeah.
He said, look, their God is the God of the mountains. That's why we couldn't beat them all up there. He said, let's go back and regroup and face them in the plains.
Yeah.
Because their God ain't no God or no plains. You know what I'm saying? I know where he at. You know what I'm saying? It's all right. Let's regroup and come back. God heard him.
Right.
And so there's not a voice or a speech or a language that is not heard.
Right.
Yeah, he said God heard him. He said, oh yeah? And then he sent the prophet. He told the prophet to tell him, not because of them now, it's because these jokers over here saying that God is the God of the hills. And that's why you can't beat the Israelites up in the hills and far up there. We're going to work them down to the plain, and we're going to rumble them and beat them down.
Yeah.
God heard him and said, all right, so tell you what, we're going to knock them out. That's right. Time of Elijah. Same thing again, come around. Elijah, when he told them, he says, except for the seventh, he said he's going to put them in captivity, and he was pronouncing like a death sentence on them. And he said, but those 7,000 that have not bowed their knees to Baal or kissed him, to them, they're going to be all right. 7,000 people, and God knew exactly who it was, didn't bow to Baal. Never. Never. He knew exactly who it was. That means you think 40 of us in here, God don't know us, and don't know who don't, who didn't just feel bad about the 25th and didn't miss the enjoyment.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And not once in their heart said, damn, I ain't even buy a shoe this Hanukkah. This guy is it with Hanukkah. This Hanukkah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That show you how far you got to get rid of all that. You got to get far from it.
Yeah.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That's why, look, that's why when you come into this world, I said, prepare yourself for temptation, constantly endure, said, don't make haste in time of trouble. Don't rush when things get bad. And, oh, man, I got to do this. And, you just go berserk. Don't do none of that. You already came forward, and that's a blessing. That's the best thing you ever did in your whole entire life.
Right.
Not even go to school or get a job. This, when you came forward and stood before the light in God's presence. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
That's the best move you ever made in your whole life.
Yeah.
Don't downplay it. Like I said, go all the way. Don't go halfway and say, woe be unto a sinner that go 2 ways. You know what I'm saying? God said, go this way, go that way. He said, do this, do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's the creator of beauty.
Uh-huh.
If you think that the other side is more beautiful, it's because you were born on that side. But when you realize it and think about it, he said, man, look, beauty is what God designed for men.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All those are the good things. We don't want no parts of the other side. You stay far from it as much as you can. Partying and enjoyment.
Yeah.
Make your enjoyment simple.
Yeah.
Make your enjoyment with brothers, with sisters. You know what I'm saying? With people that fear God.
Yeah.
You see where I'm coming from? So that when the days come, you don't be longing for it. You know what I'm saying? And you feel like on a day you feel like down. You're looking out the window. You see people passing. Hey, what's up? Merry Christmas with their ham bread and all that. You know what I'm saying? You feel good that you're not down with that.
Hallelujah.
Right.
A lot of them gonna die right after this. Right after this, a lot of them getting prepared for the slaughter. You know? So like I said, it's a good thing. These are the days, we should, I don't know why I'm inclining, because I don't plan what I'm gonna teach and what I'm gonna say. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, it must be some commendation from God to us that
Hallelujah, man.
praise him hard in these last few days. I'm telling you something. We are his people, a peculiar treasure. You know what's a peculiar treasure? You ever had a diamond, you go peep at it every time? Look at it all angles, under the light, you hide to see if anybody saw where you stashed it and all that. That's what we is to God.
Yeah.
That's right. A peculiar treasure. Never mind about you and treads. You know what I'm saying? That don't make no difference.
Yeah.
That's what God told the prophet when he went looking for David. He said, surely that's David. He said, no. He said, God not like man that he look at the outer appearance. He said, but the inner part. You look at your spirit, your heart, how you think. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what he's about. He got mad, and he's a strict God. We're keeping that in mind every time, and that means you should learn to fear him. You see what I'm saying? Fear him. It said the angel of the Lord encamp around them that fear him and that call upon his name. Call upon his name is those that pray to him. They ready to receive of your prayer. Right? And it says they encamp around them that fear him.
Yes, sir.
Fear him means like, even though he's nowhere around,
Yes, sir.
you don't see him,
Yeah.
yet you acknowledge him and give him his authority.
Yes,
Right
sir.
or wrong?
Yes, sir.
You acknowledge him and give him his authority.
Yeah.
I show you breaking it down simple. This is how you come out. As a child, you don't learn to fear God. You learn to fear your parents.
Yes, sir.
Right or wrong?
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma. No, ma. Boom, boom. If you half step with that, when you get up in age, you're going to half step with the law the same way. Because it's the same thing. Orders.
Teach.
Don't steal. Ain't nobody watching you no more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At one time, mom would peep. All right, over here, when you come out. I told you don't take no cookies. You took cookies? No. Yeah, what you got in your hand? Bust you already, right or wrong.
Right.
Yeah, she come down on you. And you justify that, right or wrong. So how are we not going to justify when God put his foot on us? It's all normal. You look at it, it's normal. You come down on him, and that's the same child you cuddle and love and play with. But you whoop that behind as soon as you saw him steal something. You see what I'm saying? See, with the authority, we're straight. But when we're under the authority, we get loose. But we got the authority. We straight as, look, man, I told you not to do that. No, there ain't no sense crying. Bam, bam.
Yes, sir.
And then when we're under the authority, where God says, it says, the wages of him that work for thee shall not abide with thee all night till the morning.
Right.
Then you, like, go in your pocket, take it out. Maybe I could hold it and $700 and I could buy a bigger stock and then I'll pay it. You know what I'm saying? But you just whoop your sons behind for not obeying and for eating the cookie that you told them not to. But when it came time for you to listen to what God said, you didn't do it. That's what the fear of the Lord is all about.
That's right.
When you're all by your lonesome, it's what you choose to do. What you choose to do. It's not a good practice for sons to disobey their parents. Because when you get older, you're going to get lots of blows.
That's right.
Lots of blows. It's not good practice for a wife to disobey her husband, because when he's not around, you're going to get it also. That's how you learn to cope with the authority up above. It's like he put you in training. You know what I'm saying? When you're small, you're in training to listen to your parents, so that when you get older, you listen to who?
God.
Everything got stages. Even the fear of the Lord
That's right.
got stages.
That's right.
You see, you learn to fear him little by little, gradually. You know? Then children come into play now. Now you got more reasons now to want to fear God. He said, you look at that nice little soul in your hand, all his limbs, everything straight. You know, he said, man, please God, protect him, keep him. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You got an extra incentive now to fear God. You know? To lead from dirt. He said, don't tear bear. Don't gossip. He said, don't tear down your neighbor. He said, if anything, in any wise, is to rebuke your neighbor. And don't let sin bust him in the head. You know what I'm saying? Because if he did something wrong, and you know, you're supposed to tell him if you see it. Right?
Right.
Just like he rebuked us. He said, no, don't do that. Or you come in and chastise us and measure. You know? Like right now, whatever we got, and we before God, you give plenty thanks and praises for it. Because we're supposed to have came back to pay all them things that we did. And to show you so many of them that I don't care who it is. Let me tell you something. You got some piled up. I don't care how young you is, you got a few of them piled up. Chop your teeth at your mother. That's like cursing her.
Right.
And don't go downstairs and you gone. Her word don't mean nothing, so when you get older, what the word of God gonna mean to you?
Yeah.
I mean, they could tie you down, put you in this place every week, teach you every day out that book, but you ain't got it in you. What?
Right.
What is this you ain't got in you? Obedience. Because you're not accustomed to obeying nothing. You're not accustomed to listening to nothing.
Stubborn.
You know what I'm saying? So the little ones, look, guide your fears right from early. Start listening to your parents. That's your first God. Why like a God? Because everything's supposed to come to him. Even when you're going to take a vow. He said, no. That vow sounds foolish, and I know you, and I don't think you're going to hold that vow. So don't take that vow. Right or wrong?
Right.
In other words, you can't make no agreement with God unless your husband sanctions it. That's what he's trying to say. Because you're the one, he's the one that's going to think straight. You see what I'm saying? He's the one that's level-headed. I don't care if you're more intelligent than him and you could go out there and make a meal. He's still the one. It's not going to change because you're bright and you could bring prosperity and the works of your hands could bring plenty. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you're the one that's supposed to come out and bring him his inheritance. Because you're supposed to help him meet all his obligations in life. What are his obligations in life? Raise children, fear God, keep his commandments. You know what I'm saying? On appointed days, you there helping him. Yeah, let's get this thing We gotta go to Jerusalem. Right or wrong?
That's right.
Not just him and she laying up talking about, I don't want to go. I'm tired. The last time I broke the heel on my shoe, and you know what I mean? That's an old Jezebel. That's right. That's why Ahab got jammed. You know what I'm saying? Listen to Jezebel. You know, and as soon as he went got the vineyard, God sent the prophet to him. Yeah, I saw what you did, Ops. You know what I'm saying? And he repented and everything. I mean, he still died, but he didn't go through the drama in his lifetime. He didn't see it, but it came. All his sons went into captivity. Zedekiah, all of them went to Babylon in chains. Can you imagine princes that wouldn't even wear dirty clothes?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And the princesses that their feet didn't touch the ground. They walking in mud, in chains, in feathers of iron, and the eyes sticking out. And yet we read this, and we still don't put our best foot forward, like I said, to fear God. And I said, look, you talk about the baddest man on the planet? That's the baddest thing out here. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So that's a good thing. The good thing about this real life, like I say, it puts everything into perspective. It makes you know right from wrong. And as you go, like I say, even though we're a little stubborn, because God said we're stubborn.
That's right.
He said, even though we're a little stubborn, our heart gets better every time. But like I said, you got to learn to get it much more better. You see, because like I said, to show you the little things that we could have been tested for. We could have been tested for these days, like to see how we felt about it. If we missed it. Or, or if we long to do this or long to do that. That's right. God, he'll try and look the places where you didn't expect. He said, the Lord is a lamp, trying the innermost part of the belly. You go all the way deep inside. Don't play with fire. This God is a true God. He's alive, and He loves us.
Yeah.
And everything that we could count that we have comes from Him. Even what we don't have, you still don't frown at that, because it might not. You might have ain't married it yet, or it's around the corner somewhere.
Yeah.
He said my spirit not gonna always strive against man, because man is a flesh and blood. But it says, but still I'm gonna cut his ears down. Got it wrong.
That's right.
Keep bringing us from the first time he made a measurement was 120. So we was running all up to 969 and 9 this. Yeah, he said my spirit not gonna always strive. He said, I'm not gonna fight him all the time, because he's weaker than me. He's flesh and blood. He said, yet I'm gonna cut them ears down because he's too wild. You know what I'm saying? Boom, 120. So anybody that did over 120 was like blessed. It was like some type of approval in their life where God let him stretch his ears out a little bit. But there is such a word as fulfilling your ears. That's right. You fulfill your ears. I mean, you live to the appointed time that you had. Because when you come out, you might have X amount of years marked down, but you could shorten it. You see what I'm saying? Every man is granted 70 years. But yet a lot of them die at 28,
Yes, sir.
24, 22, 19. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And watch the ones that go out fast like that. They're the ones that hardly pick up on the Creator, or on obedience, or how life is set. See what I'm saying? Life is set where you got to respect your mother. They the sons of Belial. They curse their mother. You know what I'm saying? So they don't fulfill their years, which is 70 years. Because God said, I got tired of fighting with man. I'm tired of fighting him. He said he's flesh and bone, so he can't even think about beating me. But yet, I'm going to cut his ears down. Now we're down to 70.
Yeah.
So when you see people live to a good ripe old age of 80-some and all that, 85, God bless them.
Teach.
They fulfilled their years, and even though they might have not known the commandments, they knew enough to stay on the earth. You know what I'm saying?
Teach.
They knew enough to stay right, just enough for God to spare them.
That's right.
That's right. That's why the book say he'll have even mercy on the dead. Not the dead that he took out for doing something wrong, but the dead that just died without knowing him, but lived a good old life. That's right. He could forgive our mothers, our parents. You know, all she did is work. She didn't know about this idol God, so she, had this mistake going, and she lived her life as clean, brought up, cheering up, don't fight, live good, look out for one another, right or wrong.
Right.
So don't cheat one another, don't do this, don't do that.
Right.
She's a hardworking woman. I'm a hardworking woman. I buy you what you can, but what you don't have, don't steal it. Right or wrong.
Right.
Right.
God can forgive that.
Teach me.
And he does forgive that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He said, and go rest with your fathers. You know? He said, thou shalt be gathered unto thy fathers. Right or wrong?
Right.
That's what he used that very regularly in the book. In one part, Job said, yeah, you could nail me down, because they was on him. Because he in his heart, he didn't do nothing wrong. It's like you're doing everything right, righteous, you know how to do it, and you're doing it. So when calamity comes, you say, man, I don't deserve this. But these guys couldn't. He said, what are you talking about? God? The God of heaven? You mean he's doing you wrong? He didn't know that God waged a bet on Job. That's how it started. God started bragging on Job. You know what I'm saying? And the adversary said, yeah. I know what's going on. I peeped this show already. You got barricades all around him, you know what I mean? Virtual barricades. I can't even touch him, because he's doing the right thing. You see what I'm saying? Yet, God had the adversary to get on him. I see can you move him? Because he didn't like it. So you see my servant Job?
Yeah.
God started bragging on him, and he didn't like it. So he said, all right, test him. And he tested him. And when God, when Job going through his thing, he said, look, man, he said, you could taunt me and carry on, but remember, after all this, he said, long after this flesh has returned to the grave and the worms consume it, he said, yet I know my Redeemer liveth. Later on, he says, in those days, I'm going to send Elijah. You don't know if he's going to send him through the birth of a woman, or Elijah will going to just pop on the scene. It ain't no telling. But he said he's going to send him to restore family life. He said to turn the hearts of the sons towards the fathers and the fathers towards the children. That means getting family life together. Right. He said, unless I smite the earth with a plague. Right. So if Elijah is ever coming, you could bet your life he's going to be coming in these days. Because family life is torn down to pieces.
Right. That's right.
The mother jealous the daughter jealous the mother, the son diss the father. The father didn't even think about the son, but he thinking about the mother. When the book says, be more of a father to the children than a husband to the wife. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And the wife's supposed to be able to read that and don't feel no way.
That's right.
Right.
Because it comes from the boss, right?
That's right. That's right.
He's not saying undermine the woman. He said, but put more emphasis on the children. Yeah. That's right. Because them the ones that's coming out in this new day now, bringing this new way of living, which is new to us. It's of old, but it's new to us.
Yes, sir.
So they're the ones that are going to bring out this clean life. This living about praising God with all their might. And loving every word that God said. God said, cover this, cover that. God said, do this, do that. You know what I'm saying? You should never want to live in a doubt. Where like you're doing something and you doubt yourself that God would like it. That's too deep. They said, when in doubt, do what?
Leave it out.
That's right. If you feel that the brother might be saying something that is right, you cannot want to live with that on your mind, that you might just be standing on the wrong side. Because you tear down your mind with things like that. Like they said, that's not no way to cultivate a young mind. The same way. You see what I'm saying?
That's right.
Little small things. I mean, it might be small, but if it's in the law, it can be that small.
Great. Yeah.
Because God mentioned it.
Yeah.
It's little small things. I mean, it might be small, but if it's in the law, it can be that small.
Great. Yeah.
Because God mentioned it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He mentioned it.
Teach.
He mentioned certain things, and like I said, with all loving kindness and everything, we can't just jump over it because the people not doing it.
Right.
We gotta mention it. And when we mention it, we gotta emphasize that we're not mentioning it to make nobody feel bad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We mention it for you to feel bad and do something about it. That's different now.
Yes, sir.
If I mention something for you to feel bad, then that's personal. But if I mention something for you to feel bad and make a move, then I'm coming off. You see what I'm saying? Because our job's supposed to be to sharpen one another, teach each other in the law. You know what I'm saying? So that God don't get on our case. Because he already told us he's a God. What kind of God he is? He don't play no games. You know what I'm saying? He'll take you out. He mentioned Jezebel. He said Jezebel. He said the dogs gonna eat you up right at the gate, tear you up, and it did. Now, who want to go out like Jezebel? Who want to be the one that whisper the wrong thing in her husband's ears, or to incline him to weakness and not to strength? He said, "I'm headed to the camp." Yes. Look, supposed to be bum rushing. Get his clothes, his boots. You know what I'm saying? God might have inspired him.
That's right.
Move out.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because before any one of the women came, the men were soldiering before God. I mean, it might look simple. It might seem like all you was doing is hanging out and running here and running there. But you gained souls as you went. You made people pick up hope. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't like you, but trust me, they love for you to be around them. It's a reassurance of life. They don't like you because what they do don't coincide with what you do. Say, here it comes. You might see the hand up. Hide it, man. You know what I'm saying? They feel bad. They feel bad because you got the strength to do what they can't do. God, look at me and say, man, that's a hell of a discipline, man. Say, yes. He say, even nothing to it tonight. Sometimes you might be gambling. You lose all your money. And your mind says, no, man, but might change and live, and you don't even be out there, man. You know what I'm saying? One guy seemed like he didn't provide nothing to his house. He said, man, I feel ashamed to go home. Yet, we'd like to be in their shoes. Yeah, sometimes we miss. Man, look at this again. You come in here, you throw down your Bible. You know, you're bored. You're nothing to do. What you mean by nothing to do? There's God to praise.
Right. That's right.
There's God to praise, man. Yeah. You know, that soul need a lethal injection of what you call hope. Juke him with some hope. Yes, need it bad. You know what I'm saying? How could you be sad and mad? You know what I'm saying? And the things that you did that you know that you made God mad, put it away from your life. You know?
Yeah.
Think about it and make sure you don't do it so that you could count at least 3 years and say, man, it's been 3 years I ain't did that. You know? It's been 4 years I ain't, man, I'm all right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when you don't, this starts to go. Then you get numb. Nothing in life don't move you no more. You know what I'm saying? The laws of God ain't nothing to you no more. You can't even come in here and sit down. Just the fact that you in here and sit down and enjoying what I'm saying, you on the right track. More so that when you got the music blasting and one in one hand and the other in the other hand, and you going through, and that ain't even it. That ain't even it. See, you just got to learn what is good for you, to apply it and make your soul feel happy about it. That's right. Let us greatly rejoice in his name. That's how our parents did. They went crazy. They banged them tambourines and they worked themselves in a frenzy, praising God.
Yes, sir.
That's what Nehemiah said. He said he was telling the people something wrong that they was doing on the Shabbat, He started getting sad. He said, no, don't get sad on me now.
Yeah.
So for in the rejoicing in the Lord is your strength. When you enjoy yourself in his days, you know?
Yes, sir.
Right.
His days coming, bake, cook, make some food. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you're trying to get yourself accustomed of doing what's convenient for you.
Yeah.
After a while, it comes natural.
That's true.
After a while, what? Hanukkah coming up or Feast of Tabernacles coming up? Man, get this together.
Teach, bro. Yeah.
Part. You ain't got no money? I say, this guy ain't never got money and he bought a what? A whole platter of chicken? You know he took his last money and did it. Right or wrong?
That's right.
Right.
That's where you come in. See, you proven.
Teach.
Before Abraham got his heritage, he proved his way all along, right or wrong.
Right.
First he proved it with who? With his son Isaac. So take your only son, the one you love so much. You know, he even emphasized it. The one you love so much. The words. He said, yeah, and bring him up and offer him unto me. So if he loved his son so much, and yet he'll do that, that means he loved God what? More.
That's right.
I said, prove it. Tell you that's where it said the proof is in the what? The pudding. That's how you can prove to God if you love him. You know what I'm saying? And when you prove him, and he open up the heavens and say give you a blessing that you can't even hold. We hold our own self back by not being the spiritual part of what we're supposed to be. You got to be that. And if I may say, the church people got it. They just got the wrong God.
Yeah.
I'm telling you something. So we be afraid to accept this way of life, not like the church, but like how the church people accept it. They confine themselves in the boundaries. You know what I'm saying? They confine themselves to the boundaries. When you come in, they say, praise. Yes, praise. Yes. And when the days come for them to celebrate, they got their best dish, best clothing, best everything. That's what we're missing. We're missing the spiritual part of the way of life. The part that you don't see, feelings, you know, words, you know, and you could tell when they see you. Look, the ones that know that we know and know that what we know is the truth now, when they see us right or wrong, they melt. They grab you and hug you hard and say, praise, brother, praise, you know, because they've been in that spiritual euphoria already. When they see the real thing, their spirit tell them it's a real thing.
Yeah.
Just like when they threw prophet's body in the grave with another guy. It said skeleton. He knew it was time to get up out of there. This body too holy for this old wicked bone. Bone got up and fled. Said, we don't belong in the same place, right or wrong.
Right.
Yeah. Even after death, these things are effective. You know what I'm saying? So we got so much to give thanks and to praise God for. And to leave away from our iniquity so that God may forget them and erase them. Don't go adding drunkenness to thirst.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Remember when you were young and you were obedient? Can you remember that? And that your mother would say, oh, she's a nice little girl. Now live for God to say, you're a nice little girl or a nice little boy. Because you ain't never going to grow up that old that you can't call your little girl.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. Like I said, the saga continues. You know? That's right. Go from your mother saying that to your God. And I'm sure you'll always be all right. The things that are wrong would never tempt you. You know what I'm saying? As long as you learn to live within the confines that God gave you. You can't celebrate Christmas, accept that. You can't celebrate when the New Year is just as bad close, and the ham's still around. Because you know when we ate it, the bone didn't disappear till January, right or wrong? Late January. Right, nobody want to answer. I mean, some don't answer because they never lived that. You know what I'm saying? That's a big blessing too. But we that went through it, you know, we know that the bone didn't throw out till now. 28th of January or something like that. 27th, right or wrong. That's right.
Kind of stupid.
Yeah. Well, you're after the side of the soup. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we lived that. Now, imagine who would have thought that we would come to look at this as amusing and laugh at it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we come a long way from childhood, man. And where we reach, it was far-fetched. Because nobody even figured out that you would, hard guys that been out here with all the girls, with all the money, would be sitting down here and enjoying God's word. See what I'm saying? And I really came to talk in the book, but we've been just talking random and traveling and having a nice time. Like a conversation, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And this is good.
Hallelujah.
This is good. I hadn't did it in a while, but it's good. It said, one guy said what? The law of the Lord is in his heart. I mean, he's supposed to, after a while, he's supposed to have it like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Where you feel the things that you say, and you're saying the things that you feel. You know what I'm saying? And that, like I said, that is good. And on this day especially, because this day is the day that God had made. Like they say, let us greatly rejoice in it. God made this day. He made all days especially. But this day, he singled out. So it's different from other days. He made it. He made the Shabbat day. He even had it where, like, when we was in Jerusalem, everybody would come to the door of the tabernacle, right? And do their thing and boom, boom, and, and watch the Levites doing singing praises and singing psalms and everything, and then go back home. So we do the same thing here, you know what I'm saying? You can't really do it squatting at home. Not the way God prescribed it, you know what I'm saying? Right. But things happen, and like I said, we always try to accommodate ourselves afterwards to how it's supposed to be. You're not going to get it all together in one time, you know what I'm saying? But this is a place to get it together. Like some guys, like, what happened, a brother yesterday told me, he spoke to a brother, and he was shouting, his brother sounded happy, good. Oh, thanks, you called. Yeah, okay. And he said, yeah, you know what, I hope y'all don't feel no way because I ain't been coming to the Shabbat and boom, boom, I'm getting myself together. I cut him off right there. I said, I said, no. I said, he hopes that nobody's mad that he's not coming to the Shabbat, that he's getting things together. It's crisscross.
Yeah.
It's crisscross. You don't get yourself together staying at home or staying away from God. If anything, you face the music, come on up and straighten up. I remember when they grabbed me sleeping off and took all my jewelry. Look, before I even thought about the guy and what I want to do and how I want to do it, the first thing I did is, look, next Shabbat, I was in the premises at 8 o'clock. They thought I was sick. I was in the camp at 8. And after that, it was always an hour before teaching started that I was there. And you know what? I got it all back.
That's right.
Not the same, but different one.
That's right.
I said, wow, look at this. I lost one like this. Now look at this here. That's right. You see, God was just trying to tell me something. Say he chastised those who he loved. He said, hear ye the rod, and who has appointed it. So hear it. Hear it. It's telling you something. It's telling you something. You know what it's telling you. You know what you've been doing. Right or wrong? So if you know what you've been doing, you must know what the rod telling you. I'm not going to know because I don't know what you've been doing. So hear ye the rod, and remember who passed it on you. Who has appointed it. Remember Father, and get it all together. Get it all together. Because in judgment, there is some to be said. Like your mother. If I told you about the jar, told you about leaving your pants when you peeing, all on the rug, bam, bam, she's talking. All right. What about when she don't say nothing? You still know why. Mom, what you do? You say, I might as well shut up. I know why. You know what I'm saying? I know why. You know who appointed it, and you know why it's on you. You know what I'm saying? We never lost that tag about being the children of the Most High God, the children of Israel. That's right. And we never lost that love that he got for us. So things that work for you, what you got going, God loves me. So work on it. Let it work for you. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the advantages that you got in life, right? That God loves you. So work on it. How you work on it? You know what? They say that if I put buttons over here, that's not too good because it's too close to that commandment. So get rid of the damn button. You know what I'm saying? They say it's too niggerish and the Christians use it. Get rid of that. Get accustomed to dealing with everything that God wants you to deal with. Don't wait and play stubborn, and then when the rod comes, that's when you're going to repent. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know how the rod could come. You don't know how it could come. He might want to make you the example. It says, smite the scorner, and the simple will be aware. The scorner is a guy that he knows better, and he keep getting rebuked. You keep getting rebuked. You keep hearing it. You keep hearing it. Say, don't walk around with your chest bare. And you know, oh, well, it don't say that, and you start arguing and what it said, what it don't say. Look, put it like this. It's too close.
That's right.
Because if somebody got an argument with it, it's too close. Right or wrong?
That's right.
Because if it was no argument with it, then it was, like the brother said, no question. You wouldn't even have to worry about it.
Right.
But if it's an argument with it, it's too close. This is how you learn to fear God and love him. Get rid of what's too close for comfort. You know what I'm saying? The things that you know you're accustomed. I'm accustomed to talking back. I'm going to get rid of that. I'm accustomed to being stubborn. Every time somebody tell me something, no, I don't pay no mind. Later on, I usually get banged in the head. Get accustomed to that. Get rid of that. You know what I'm saying? Because before you know it, when we get finished here, we're going to be so clean before God, it ain't funny. Just live to the time when he said he going to change and take away your heart of stone and give you a real heart. Live to that time and you'll be straight. Ain't no telling how far you stretch out. We must be doing something right. Because God wouldn't send nobody to us or have people come off the street and want to learn about it if we was that crooked. I'm not going to say we don't have faults. You see what I'm saying? And all them congregations that just set things like for Israel itself and don't never think about the people. But let me tell you something. God says, he says, I will send to fetch me. Fishers and hunters said, fetch me. So I'm going to get hunters for myself to fish and hunt my people. The people is the main priority. That's why you can't do but X amount in the sight of the people. Other than that, you take away your credibility, then therefore you become liable for them. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Because when they see you dancing over here and over there, they say, man, what's going on?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I know that ain't it. And they keep searching. With that, I hope y'all got something out of it. And maybe we'll come up later on and say a few words, you know. Yeah. I wanted to go in the book, but like I said, it was time to speak random. Hallelujah. You know, so that we know what time it is, know what we want to do, what we don't want to do, and bethink ourselves in all them little whatever might be weighing on our mind. Bethink ourselves and come up doing the right thing. That I bid you in the name of my Father, Shalom.
Shalom.
Hallelujah.